Okay, I gotta be real honest. I've been procrastinating on finishing weeding the garden because weeding sucks. But I gotta get it done. I've got these seeds to put in the ground, and I got more radishes coming in the mail today. And so, well, at least it said it's out for delivery. Now, my original date said Friday, but yeah. When I checked on it this morning before I went to work, it said it's out for delivery today. So that means I need to get my butt in gear and get this the garden beds weeded. Uh, like I said, not looking forward to it. Been procrastinating, but I got off work a little early today. The weather's beautiful, so there's really just no excuse to not do it. I do have to go back in and check on my progress of the dehydration of my peppers, but something tells me even if I'm a little late on checking it after a couple hours again, they'll be just fine. Probably do have butternut squash to harvest, but that's just not going to be a priority today. There's nothing wrong with leaving them on the vine as they are. I have bigger fish to fry, like weeding and harvesting my bok choy, which is going to seed, which I might as well just let this one go to seed, that way I can collect seeds, and harvesting off my Swiss chard again. And it looks like I got some collards, but I'm going to let them go a little bit longer. But I have to get this area weeded. Now, I think I'm going to plant my greens back here, just keep it greens. Why not? And look, I have beet sprouts. All kinds of beet sprouts. Yeah. So, I know most of you guys probably don't want to watch me weed, but I do need to share my tip with you on effective weeding with just a little garden spade like this, because that's how I do it. So I suppose I'll start this area first since it needs it. This is where I'm going to plant my greens, my kale and lettuce. I might break it up, but I also have celtis to plant out too. And I'm thinking I might grow my celtis out in the back garden. We'll just have to see how it plays out. The garden gloves aren't required, but this is the ground is still kind of moist. I'm going to go ahead and run the sprinkler after I get the seeds sown, but because the ground is a little wet, it's just easier if I wear garden gloves, but they're not necessary. But what is necessary is a big spoon or a garden spade like this. And why I like it is because I like to, when you weed, you really want to get the roots out of the ground, otherwise they're just going to grow back. So if I can loosen underneath the root system and pull them all out, shake off excess dirt, and chuck it out in the grass area in the garden, because screw that grass. The good benefit about leaving clover in your garden, though, is that it actually puts nitrogen back into the soil. So a lot of people do grow them as cover crops, and Lori from Lori's World is actually using it for a cover crop right now. But not to go on, but if you kind of catch where I'm headed with this, it's quicker and easier to get the roots out this way versus just trying to wiggle them out by hand. So this is definitely a very good tip. Okay, you don't have to watch me weed anymore. I got this. I had to take my gloves off because it's time for victory. Woohoo! I got this part done. I accidentally cut one of my Kentucky Wonder pole beans, which breaks my heart. But I found a bunch of beans on there that I've missed. They were hiding, growing in the foliage here. So I picked those off at least to not let those go to waste. One's ready to save seeds from, so that's cool. Yeah, I found a bunch of big worms in the ground and a bug that looked like a bug form of a lobster. It had the fan tail and everything. Like, what is that critter? I still have more to go, guys, and it's just not in the mood for it. Last summer I weeded all the time and kept up on it. This year I'm like, ugh. But I did notice I got some bok choys growing. I sowed seeds there when I sowed those beets, or this bok choy. And yeah, now it's starting to come up, so that's cool. So I may just lightly weed around it in case there's more decide to come up. But yeah, you see all the critters decided to eat my sunflowers. So I don't know if I'll have very many seeds to save this year, but that's my own fault for not keeping the suet blocks in the bird feeder, because that's what helped last year. Yes, birds aren't bad for the garden, and neither are squirrels until they start eating your things. So there's that. I'll show you when I get more weeded. I'm probably going to finish weeding around this back area for today and call it good. Yeah. Alrighty, I got the area I wanted done the most weeded. Now I do have to go check on my peppers dehydrating. Unfortunately, I pulled out at least 3 of my pole beans plants. So that sucks for me, but hey, it's weeded, and I got an area where I could start my daikon radishes. I have a Japanese variety coming in, and it's not going to be as fat, but it will be about 24 inches long, and they take longer to grow than regular radishes. So I'm ready to sow those right away. And I think this shady spot, since I'm procrastinating on cutting down the sunflowers as well, it'll help. So there, now I got an excuse to leave my sunflowers up. Besides that, not much seeds to save from them anyway. I did find a second Brussels sprout here. This is the Long Island improved Brussels sprout, and then there's my single seed challenge Brussels sprout, the Gronigers, which I loved last year. And I still have beets popping up in this area too, behind whatever this brassica is. And you know what? I took a bite off of a leaf just so if I could put a flavor profile to it. I want to say cauliflower, but I don't know. It's just big and out of control, and I'm just interested to see how it turns out. I'm scared to weed over by my bush beans because I've pulled out a bunch of, like 3 beans out of 8 over there, and I want to continue harvesting my beets, so I'm probably going to hold off on doing that until I'm ready to rip all of the beans out of the ground. But this area I want to tackle. That's my Greek columnar oregano there, and then I got prickly lettuce and clover. And I think some peppermint from last year too. So guys, I just want to thank you for stopping by, and I did want to start seeds today, but that's probably going to be another video, honestly. We'll go through what I'm planting, and I'll just weed as I go. And I'm also wanted to give an update about the powdery mildew situation. You know what? These plants are done producing for the year. They're dying back. So I'm not even going to waste my time, energy, or money on it. I'm just going to let them be, let them do what they do, harvest what I get. I've already got a nice little harvest off of 2 plants, and I will just be thankful for that and not push my luck. So guys, with that being said, I love you, and so does Jesus. God bless.